Going on, dudes and dudettes? So it looks like that 4-star or 5-star, depending where you look at, wide receiver Jerome Myles is going to be moving up his commitment date from, I think it was October 30th, to now it's going to be September 18th, somewhere in about a week or so from next Wednesday. So yeah, we'll see where he ends up going. I know he moved it up once he went to visit USC officially and everything like that, so maybe there's a strong indication, because like I said, last week, a lot of people, especially Steve Wiltfong of On3, was predicting him to go to USC, so that's always a good thing to hear from him. So hopefully he makes it official next week and USC gets another 4-star player. But yeah, they're going to be facing, I think it's Texas A&M and Utah, the home state for him. So we'll see where he ends up, but it looks like it's going to be a no-brainer for USC. And there are 3 players from the 2026 football recruiting class that have been saying some pretty good stuff about USC football. I know that local 4-star running back, Deshaun Rideau, I think I'm saying that correctly, said he's really impressed with his last visit to USC. 2026 4-star linebacker Anthony Davis Jr. put USC in his top 12, so that was nice. And then the 2026 4-star linebacker Tyler Atkinson has many offers he put out there on his social media, but it looks like USC was one of those teams. Surprisingly, with all those many, like 30, almost 40 plus offers, Duke wasn't in there as well, unless they forgot to put it in the edit, but USC is still involved, so hopefully they have a chance of getting some of these guys in that 2026 class. And then a 4-star local guy, I forget if he's from, I don't think he's from Mater Dei. He could be from Mater Dei, but either way, I think he's still California based. His name is Sam Utu. He's a 4-star interior offensive lineman, and it looks like, as I mentioned before, Steve Wiltfong, one of the top On3 recruiting guys, looks like he put in an expert prediction pick for USC for that player. So hoping this is a sign of the right things, the right direction for USC football. I know he recently visited as well. So that was a pretty big beneficial weekend against Utah State, that 48-0 win. Yes, sadly this weekend they are on a bye week, but luckily they get a little bit more healthy and rested up before that Michigan game, as I mentioned. So yeah, hoping for the best next week. And Nick Saban, the ex-great Alabama coach, has pretty much been talking about USC quite a bit and saying that it could be scary for college football, especially if a team like USC has the mind and the offense of Lincoln Riley and then an elite defense to go with that as a combination. Then he thinks it's going to be pretty scary for the rest of college football. So hoping that is the case and they get the correct amount of recruits, and hopefully don't lose too many good coaches, but if they do, then bring in some more talented guys as well as they did this off season. But it's all you could hope for with a lot of attrition. I know Nick Saban did it a lot as well, always having guys get new jobs and new head coaching jobs and stuff, a lot of his coaches and coordinators, but he still was able to win and get a lot of good stuff out there. So hopefully that's the same for USC. And then I think it was even according to FanDuel, they have the 10 best odds to win the national championship or the playoff, college football playoff, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's pretty good, especially after just 2 weeks. And then they're already considered one of the 10 best teams, at least betting wise, to win the title. You always got to follow the money, see what ends up happening when it comes to betting sites like that. So usually if they're doing stuff, then I'm going to have to look. And luckily USC is in the right end when it comes to these bets and stuff. So hopefully that is the case later in the season. And there's a lot of good stuff that came out about USC's quarterback, Miller Moss, this week. I believe PFF had him as the highest graded, or one of the higher graded quarterbacks in the Power 4. I think he's like number 9 on that list, which is good to see. So obviously he's still doing good even with a subpar game last week, even though he didn't have to put up many points for them to win big. And then I think it even came to like CBS Sports doing a mock draft pretty recently, and they have him going number 3 overall to the New York Giants, which is pretty amazing because he jumps like pretty much all the quarterbacks, Beck and Sanders and stuff, who have been projected to go as some of the first quarterbacks going, and then now he's being put up there, which is pretty crazy. But CBS Sports is pretty reputable, so they're not always correct, but maybe they're hearing stuff, and it kind of seems like a crazy move that the Giants would do. He'd be probably way better than what Daniel Jones is, an ex-Duke quarterback. But either way, that'd be pretty freaking awesome in my opinion. And I believe he's even starting to do some NIL partnerships and stuff and some merchandising with a t-shirt or some other merch that he has coming out with his name involved called Miller Time. Obviously, I think Coors or Miller, whatever it is, that beer has that saying, but now it's like showing him and all that stuff. So I'm assuming he's able to do that and make money off of it. But looks like he's gonna be able to make like $6 to $15 per item sold as well. So that's a big time get for him. Obviously, it took a little bit for him to get going because finally had a start and all this stuff. But yeah, at least he's gonna be making some profit while he's in college right now. And apparently Reggie Bush in his Encino mansion or home looks like he was able to stop a home invasion. I think this is like maybe the second time he's been like invaded in his home or people try to rob him and stuff, which is pretty crazy. I think they even said there was like a bunch of robberies and stuff happening in the city of Encino pretty recently. And of course they ended up trying to go after the ex-great USC player, but it looks like he was able to thwart it, as they say. So yeah, congrats to him, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. And then that rookie safety Kalen Bullock from USC, who was selected by the Houston Texans, looks like, according to PFF, he was the highest graded rookie. I don't know if that means he was both offense and defense the highest graded rookie. I doubt it, but definitely on the defensive side, because I think he had an interception as well in his first career game, so it was pretty cool to see. Obviously, way better than what a lot of people anticipated. It still was a third-round pick, so a lot of talent. Definitely very happy for his success as of right now. And I believe PFF also did do like a top 5 of the quarterbacks in the league this last week, week 1, and it looked like Sam Darnold was leading, or at least up there in the top spots. Like he was like number 2 with his grade overall. That's pretty cool. The ex-USC guy getting some recognition from the number, so that's cool. And then Jordan Addison, the ex-USC wide receiver in his second year with Minnesota. Speaking of Minnesota with Darnold, looks like he's going to be out for week 2. I forget if it's what type of injury it is. I don't think it's related to any of the off-the-field stuff, but yeah, sadly it looks like he will be out for week 2. And yeah, sadly the USC women's volleyball team did lose to the number 1 team in the nation, Pittsburgh, 0-3 in their games, so that sucked, but they were able to bounce back. I forget who exactly they were playing, but they were able to beat that team 3-0 in their next game, and then they recently beat Ohio 3-1 as well, so that was very good for them to bounce back. I think they were still like a top 20-something team even after that loss, and hopefully they'll be able to move up in the rankings. And then the women's soccer team as well got a victory the other day, 1-0 versus Washington, which I believe is now a Big Ten conference game. So that's pretty cool for them to get what might be their first Big Ten win of the season and of their now new career. So that's pretty cool for them. So thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.